All right, welcome back to part 7 of the Bugatti Bolide tutorial here. And in this tutorial, I'm thinking it's going to be a relatively short tutorial on this one. We're going to forward to extend this part here. We get some good quality pictures that I managed to get. My plan is basically, let me pull up some pictures here. My plan is basically is let me pull up this picture here for a second. So my plan is basically where's the picture? That's the one. All right, that's it. So my plan is basically that we're going to pull this structure all the way to here. But on this image, it looks like it's cut here, but it's actually not cut. But because this is not a real image, it's just a digital. Now it's a sketch art, so it's not a real Bugatti Bolide, but it's a good representation of some of the surfaces we're going to create on that. So basically, this is the designer of this sketch here. I think it's John Schmidt. He created this on some sketch program, so I do not take credit for him, but it's definitely a great picture. All right, so yeah, we want to pull me all the way up to here with this surface, but I want to pull this surface all the way up to here, and then I want to get into create this area here, but this area it seems like it's corresponding all the way to the back, so we probably going to make a cut here in this section, and then once we create that cut section on the next tutorial we can come down with the rest of the part. Of course, that's not how a real Bugatti looks like. If we jump into on under sketch art here, we can see a lot better what we aim to accomplish. As you can see, that surface goes all the way back. So basically the air the air travels all the way through underneath here and exits towards in the back here. So we are probably going to create a line here in the back, and then we're going to grab this line all the way up to our points that we have, and then follow that line, that aerodynamic line that goes all the way there. And once we have that, we can just create this, I would call it flange type of thing that just comes up from here and then curves onto this part here. So let's look at our design here, and then we're possibly going to pull up some more pictures if we need. Let me see. So let's see some real pictures here. So that's a top view of a real picture, an actual bolide here. Let's zoom in here. So it seems like that surface that we're going to work on, it does go all the way to the back and it stops here. So that's how basically the air travels through this section here and exits here. But I do believe that we have a hole here, and that hole, its purpose is to give some cooling for the rear wheel. Because it's a high performance car, hypercar, we need to have some kind of cooling on the tires, of course. All right, so let's get to our design here. And so first of all, we got some points here we want to get rid of in our second display state. Oh, let's do a Control Z because that hit our surface there. So Control Z, that brings that back. And then let's come in here and make sure we own that point, and then hide that. It hides that one as well. So that's pretty good. All right, so now we just need to create some scaffoldings here. And for that, we're gonna jump back into our first display state. And in our first display state, we got quite a few things in the front here that we don't need. And let's just hide that right now. And then in the future, we're not going to have like a millions of, oh wow, let's bring all this back that it just hid. I hit a whole lot of stuff here for us. All right, let's Control Z to come back to second stage. I think we switched over. All right, so let's hide these construction lines here. It had the whole thing. So Control Z, it's probably gonna grab us over here again. Let's go here again, and let's try to do it like this. So let's not be on that picture here. Let's be a bit over it, and then hide. Oh, it hides the whole thing as well. All right. So Control Z, and then let's click back on the first display state. So let's leave that there. And let's hide these ones here, hopefully. Let's hide this one. Yeah, that's good. Let's hit that one. And let's hide that one as well. And we don't need this line here. Just hide that. So don't delete it because that will cause some problems for us. And let's hide this one as well here. And let's hide this point as well. Alright, so that looks good. Alright, so let's jump back into our second display state. And in our second display state, we want to extend this surface, right? And then we can just like, if you extend the surface all the way through, that's not gonna work for us because if we do that, let's do it. So extend surface, let's click on this whole thing and extend the whole thing. And if you do linear, and obviously it's gonna curve all over the place, and if you put same surface it's still going to do the same for us. So let's not do that. All right, so instead we're going to jump into the first display state, and then we're going to grab some points here. All right, so let's click on the plane and normal to profile, and the first one we want to create is the inner one, and the inner one is stretching. Um, so basically, the inner one it's stretching from this corner here all the way to this corner. Okay, so we need to get some scaffoldings on that. So let's go and make a sketch on the top plane. Let's exit this sketch here. So let's make a sketch in the top plane here. And press normal to profile. And we're gonna come in here and then we're going to bring this surface point somewhere about here. So let's drop that surface point about here and exit the sketch. All right, so now we have that point. So exit the sketch, and let's go into the 3D sketch, and then we're going to grab a 3D scaffolding uh, construction line. All right, so we want to be on the y-axis, x, z, and y. We can also use x and y because we're going upwards. So let's just demonstrate that. So x and y, right, it does the same thing. No, sorry, x and y, it does the same thing, and z and y, it does the same thing. All right, it's going up. All right, so let's make sure it's just straight up. press exit. And then once we have that, just click on the front plane and then click on here. And then we just have to add a 3D point on that. We need to add a 3D point on here. Right. So exit the sketch. Exit this sketch. So 3D point is right over there. We can hide our construction line. And it hides the points as well. Okay, so let's bring that back. Okay, so now we have that point to work with. Now we have that point to work with. Now we have to get the second point, and the second point is going to be somewhere out here. Okay, so let's get that point, and then before we do that, let's jump over to the second display state, and I hope you'll be able to follow me step by step on this one. I'm not too confusing on that. I'm really hoping. Alright, so we got some surfaces here, as you can see, some small triangles here and here. Alright, and then what we're gonna do is make sure we get a new 3D sketch, and the new 3D sketch is going to be our spline. And then this spline is gonna come from here, and then this spline is gonna come all the way to here. All right, and then we can try something like click on this surface here, this small triangle surface. All right, click on that, and then hold Control, click on the line, and add tangency. So this way we have a tangent line all the way around. But we're gonna have a look how that looks. All right, so let's jump into our first display state. We don't want that. That's it. All right, so let's just one click and double click. We bring on the mesh. All right, so let's hide that again. Let's do that. Click. Okay, make a sketch on the front plane. Normal to profile. And then of course we just need to edit this sketch here. So edit this spline. Double click on it. And then we're gonna grab this handlebar. And then just pull it until we have that curvature we're looking for. So you can see it from this edge how that line goes, but that's exactly how it will goes. All right, and if not, we will change it. Okay, instead I'm not happy with that, so let's delete that actually. Let's delete the line. Let's see if we still have that small point for a construction line that we created. Let's just do a Control Z, see if we can bring it back. No. Alright, so I guess we have to do it again. So let's just do a 3D sketch. Center line. Click on the line. And again, you want to be on the Z and Y. Exit the sketch. Front plane, normal to profile. And then we want to drop that 3D point on here. Okay, exit the sketch, exit this point. Alright. And now we're just going to grab another 3D sketch. And through this spline, of course. And then we're going to go from this point up to this point here. Exit the sketch. And let's jump into this view here. And it's a lot more forgiving for us. And then we can pull this line down in that area. And basically that's the line we're after. So you see that line here. It's going to create for us like a sharp corner here if we're going with this direction. So let's try to do something like that. Click on this line and then hold Control and then this line here. Okay, and that will make that tangent. So I guess we're gonna work in this direction. Pull this back a little bit and then just pull this line forward. And I think that will sums it up. And if you look at the line, we have a nice tangency all the way on through that one. Okay, so that's one and done. And let's jump to the top here. Of course, we want to make that nice and curvy. Over here, we can try and add a tangency with this line here. Hold Control, and press this line and tangency. We don't need to do that because it's already tangent. Alright, so that looks good. So we got our first line. Exit the sketch. Alright, then now we can hide this construction line so it won't be in the way. That's good. And now we have to, let's hide this point as well. Alright, and now we just have to create another construction line here, normal to profile. And then we're going to add our point somewhere down here. That looks good. Exit. And then we're just going to bring up our construction line, which is going to be a 3D center line from here up to here, and you want to be on the Y plane, right? Alright, so bring it up all the way there. Okay, that's good. And now we just have to jump into this view, and the second point is gonna be down here, and it's going to be a 3D point as well. So let's drop it somewhere here, exit the sketch, and he is absolutely right. Right, so the next point is going to be this outside point, which we already made, and then we're going to connect this outside point. We're going to connect it with this one and this corner here. So let's do that. So we want a 3D sketch on that one as well. So let's start from this corner here. A beautiful corner here. Maybe we can see a lot more if we're going to second space state. Alright. Right. And on this side we are Let's just see where we are on this corner here. On this corner, we were right on the edge. So that's alright. And on this corner, it curves around like that. On this corner, we're going to drop our point onto this inner point here. Okay. And from this point, we're going to drop our second point to this point here. Alright. So we want to drop that point on there. We're going to exit the sketch here. And then let's double check our second display state here. And we're going to align this line that we just did. And that's a second line over here. And we just need to find a control point, which is here. And just pull it down a little bit. And that's probably about here. Nice curvature. And then maybe we can add tangency here. So this edge, hold control, and then hold control, and then this line, and then tangency. That's okay. And then we're just gonna double check everything from the side. And from the side, it almost looks good. And we just have to adjust things here. And that looks good. Okay. And then once we have these two lines, just jump over to our second display state here. And we're gonna look at some pictures. Best picture we can look at is this one here. All right. So as we can see, this line goes down. That we're going to edit this line is going to come down in this way, and this line will also determine the shape of this back part as well. So we gotta be very careful with our spline points on this line as we create it. All right. So let's get to that model here and exit the sketch. And we're going to add our 3D sketch and 3D spline. And we're going to add it from here to here. Exit the sketch. And let's do one of these. And the line we are going after, not after, but what we use for reference is the first line here. And of course, we need to pull this line here down. We need to pull it down. And we're going to add our control points on this line. So let's add one here. Add one here. Here. And maybe one here. Exit the sketch and then click somewhere in empty space and click back on the line, and let's add our control polygon. Let me see if we're still recording. Here we are. All right, and let's grab onto our control points, and then let's just make sure that we nail that we nailed that surface that we are looking for. Since it has a nice curvature here, because it will determine the upper body of the section, of course. So it gets, that's the line we're going after. So we can pull it back maybe a little bit here. Something like that. And then on this line here, we need to add our curvature here as well. So it comes down in this section. So let's have a look at the curvature now. Right, and let's have a look at the picture. So it comes down in a nice curve here and kind of straightens out here and it curves up just a little bit over here as well. So let's try to stay with that one. Spacebar, and then we get back into this view. And let's give this a little bit in that direction. So it curves up like that. Maybe move this a little bit here, so just give a little bit of sharpness in that area. And that we have that curve here. Maybe if we pull this here, we can always adjust it after. All right, so exit this sketch. And let's see the surface we can create with these surfaces here. Alright, so let's go to surfaces and let's go to fill surface and let's select our sketches here. And let's select this one here. Alright, looks like we need to add a second sketch, a second 3D sketch. So 3D sketch, 3D sketch, and we're gonna go from this point. And we're just gonna follow this edge. Up to that point. So exit the sketch and now let's try to do again our surfaces. So exit this sketch and then fill surface. It's already highlighted that one. So let's choose this one here, this one. Clear selections, surfaces. So this 2 point needs to connect. Okay, so let's see if we can do it now. So surfaces, fill surface. Let's select this one here, this one, and this one here. Alright, that created our surface. And then it's already curving up to that body over there, what we are looking for. And on the contact part, on this area, we want to add a tangency. So let's find a point. Let's see this one here. So it's called 3D Sketch 447. So let's add a tangency on that. It's probably already tangent. So press OK. It is not tangent on that area. All right. So and then also the surface does not look good. Okay, because we don't have tangency. So let's delete that surface and let's do something else. Let's delete this sketch here. All right, and let's do a fill surface without that. So this surface, this one here, this one here, because we already connected these two edges over here that we needed. So let's click on this one. And then, oh yeah, it's a lot better now. All right, so that connection here is edge 1 is S0. So let's add a tangency on that and press OK. All right, so that looks a lot better. However, I'm not happy with this curvature here, obviously, for some reason. Let's have a look at the first display state here and see what we have. Let's add our glass onto this surface. And as you can see, well, basically this area is hidden in a way, as you can see. So let's click on that here. All right. So that's hidden underneath there because there's the other body that is over here, obviously. And then because we added our tangency all the way through, that created the small dip over here, which is actually not that big of an issue. So the air flows through. The air flows through all the way over here, flows all the way back, and all exits throughout the back. So to me, this looks good, and then we're going to leave it like this. All right. So that's pretty good here, this edge, because we can start creating this area here. Okay. So if we jump on the top view here, if we jump on the top view, we can already see that we have a point here which we can hide, and then we can use this edge corner here to create this structure here. But we need to determine this point here. So for that, we need to build a scaffolding, and that point is going to be this point here. All right. So so let's do that. Let's jump into the top view here and make a sketch. Okay, and then exit this here, and let's go to sketch, 3D sketch, And let's get a scaffolding center line. A scaffolding center line from this point. Okay, exit the sketch. And I think we have that line, the point there, aren't we? No, we don't. Okay, make another sketch here. So let's add a point here. Okay, we added our point, exit the sketch, exit this sketch, and then now we have the point. Actually, we don't need this point here because we're going to use the edge of that surface. But what we need is this point here. So let's go back to the top plane, normal to profile, and we're going to drop our point on here. Okay, exit the sketch, and let's pull up that scaffolding. So exit the sketch, and 3D sketch, 3D scaffolding from this point. And it's going to be Y and X. Alright. And now we go to front plane, normal to profile. And we're going to drop our second 3D point somewhere here. Alright, so that's good. So now we determine that point, and we can come on to this section here, which will then be able to create that curvature. Okay, so let's exit from here and jump into our 3D sketch, 3D spline, and let's grab onto this point, and we're just gonna drop it on this edge here. Okay. All right, once we're done that, let's jump into this side view and click on this line, and let's just pull it into position as best as we can. Looks like we don't need to add any spline point at this point, to me it looked like. So, and then let's go to the top, spacebar, and just let's fix it from this side as well. And that should complete that one. And let's have a look from the side. And let's have a look from the front. And maybe we can just adjust it from the front a little bit. Alright, and because we adjusted, let's just double check everything from the side. Looks good from the side. And let's have a look from the top. It looks pretty good from the top as well. Looks pretty good from the top as well. Okay, exit the sketch. So we have that in place, which is good. And let's remove that appearance from there. And that appearance was The appearance was the glass appearance. And background. Let's go back here. And copy appearance, paste appearance, appearances. Body remove appearance. That's it. And that's looks good. Okay. Let's jump over to our second display state. And then we're going to mirror over this one to the other hand. Mirror. And for mirror pasting, we're going to use this one here. And then bodies to mirror is going to be this one here. Okay. And then we will mirror the sketch over once we have some more body to mirror with. All right. We're getting quite far ahead here already. So that's pretty good. Let's see what we can do it here. So in the next tutorial, we're going to work on, let's jump into the picture here. All right. So in the next tutorial, we're going to work on this section here and then this body here that curves onto this. And then after that, we're going to pull back the rest of the aerodynamic areas all the way to the back here. All right. So thanks very much for staying with me in this tutorial. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. Please subscribe to my channel. It does a lot to me. It inspires me to do more videos like this. And thank you very much. Take care. See you in the next one.